What's up? What's up? We are back with another episode of Culture Minute. I'm Gentel Sharrie.
I'm Sarina Renee.
And I'm your boy, King Jaquel Martin. Blah, blah, blah.
I thought the rap beef was over. I thought it was over. Drake came back with the disc. He released
Thanos.
actually it got leaked. When the disc got leaked, I heard on TikTok and I'm like, this sounds like AI because Drake was really calling the people out. He even told Metro like, shut your A up and drum some beats or something like that. I was like, oh my gosh, he did Kendrick, Future, Metro, Rick Ross, The Weeknd, and more. He's like against the whole industry right now. The industry is like at his neck. He even just posted something on his story today with Drumline, with the drums, the field and stuff. Like he getting ready for battle. He getting ready for war.
Well, I think he's making fun of Metro when he has that, you know what I'm saying? Because he told him to play the drums, and, you know what I mean? Keep playing the drums. So I think he's actually trolling Metro when he posted that.
I thought that too, but then I was like, why would he be trolling when Drumline was one of the best movies ever? Like it would make it seem like Metro is like like he is, because Metro, his music be banging. But I'm saying it just I don't know. I was like 50-50. I was like, is that for Metro or Drumline is like a fire movie when it gets to their battling scenes? I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, I think that's the shot at Metro. I think he's trolling him, like, you know what I'm saying, little drummer boy type of vibe. Just my opinion. I could be wrong. We got to ask Drake. We'll get Drake on the show now. See what he says.
Get Drake.
So let me ask you, like, do you really think that was AI? And it's crazy that we have to question what's real and what's not. You know what I mean? I kind of thought it was, but I was like, But then I was like, okay. And then Rick Ross came out and said what he had to say. And it's just like, wow. Oh. I did not expect that at all. Not from Drake. I love it though. I love the fact that they're like battling against each other and Drake is calling everybody out if it's true and not AI. You know what I mean? But it's funny to me. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it is funny because I feel like at the end of the day, a couple years, like they're gonna be back friends again.
Absolutely.
And I just hate to see it because it's just like, does anybody like anybody anymore? Like, is anybody friends anymore? Like, there's really no love in the industry.
But who was the first one that had rap beef this year?
This year?
Yeah.
It's been a lot of rap beefs this year.
Like, it has been a lot of rap beef. The reason why I asked is because what if it's like a new wave just for 2024 to stay relevant?
It could be. Everybody putting each other on blast seems like the new wave in 2024. Like,
yeah, Drake and Pusha, they had rap beef, you know. Mm-hmm. 50 and Rose back in the day, they had beef. I think everybody's throwing warning shots. I really don't think that we're at the level of a no gasoline, ether. You know, we're not at that level. I think everybody's just throwing warning shots right now. But I can't wait to see it all unfold. Look, I'm all for good, friendly, healthy competition about who wants to be the best. As long as it doesn't turn ugly, I'm with all the smoke. But the real question is, because they say it's about a female, why is everyone turning against Drake? And when you're at the top, bro, you got to play King of the Mountain. So right now he's playing King of the Hill, you feel me? And he's throwing everybody off the hill that think they're going to take his spot. And I'm all for the good beef, but no more warning shots. If y'all really going to just have the best lyrics, the best bars, y'all going to have the best tea, whatever it is, bro, I need to hear that. I need it.
You think Drake is honestly going to just unload the clip? I don't think so.
Well, you can't, because you can't unload the clip when you're fighting so many people, you feel me, at one time.
Because he's like Power Rangers right now.
Right? He fighting everybody.
Rangers. The whole Power Ranger clan.
Wakanda is under attack.
Right. But Kanye did. Kanye went in on everybody and didn't give a flying flip.
Yeah. And then when it comes to AI, well, they say, Drake getting his, people writing his bars, he got ghostwriters. So maybe he got AI writing his bars right now to fight everybody. I don't.
He probably was like, write me a diss for all these people, and the AI probably was like, shut your and hit them drums.
Wow.
He battling Google right now. I don't know.
Right.
But at the end of the day, whether you want to call it AI or ghostwriters, whatever you want to call it, you can't take away from this man making hits. You still can't take away from the greatness. It just is what it is.
Right.
And
Because
everybody got ghostwriters nowadays. Everybody got teams. No one's just, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Get him, Drake. Yeah, Glow.
Yeah, Glow. Our next topic is with the most known streamer in the world, Kai Cenat. Basically, something happened 2023. I guess he slept with the OnlyFans model because she took pictures while she was in his bed and of the room and everything. And then she came on social media recently and posted that he basically paid her $5,000, to sleep with him or whatever. And Kai was basically saying, I didn't pay her $5,000, chat. Like, what he did was only paid $50 for her Uber. He pulled up his transactions, like his Apple Pay transactions all the way to 2023, and showed that he did not pay her $5,000. But it looks like she could have possibly photoshopped the $5,000 in the text message.
And zeros.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's been trending. What do you guys think? Do y'all think it's cap or what?
First of all, you gonna put yourself out there as a prostitute, dog? That's illegal. Like, come on now. What is wrong with this generation? Like, y'all some bird brain ABs. That's all I'm gonna have to say. Because at the end of the day, who does that? You're admitting to $5,000 to have sex with somebody, and now the person is saying, "Oh no, I didn't. I only paid you $50 to get here or whatever." You have proof that you was in the man's bed. First of all, why are you talking about something that should have been an intimate moment in the first place? Number one. Number two, Kai should know better. He should know better.
Oh, well, he said that, if I'm not mistaken, chat, she signed an NDA, but she broke the NDA.
You signed an NDA, but you didn't take her phone.
Talk about it. Make it make sense.
Make it make sense. See, this generation, they get a little fame because of social media. We went through it the old school way. Well, whatever we did, it wasn't never talked about. We ain't got no footage from the 90s or, things
Freak
like
me.
that.
I don't know. Y'all got freak me.
You know what I'm saying? Not saying I was wild or anything, but I'm just saying it's like a whole different time frame. I wasn't. I mean, I went to the club almost every day, and then I used to drink, but, I did fight a lot, but that's about it. I ain't do no ratchet junk other than that. But, for real. Anyways, but I was a little fighter. Thank God we didn't have social media back then. But anyway, so my thing is, like, these kids nowadays, they want to have so much clout. They want to have the highest views. They want to go viral and all this stuff like that. You think just because you admitted to prostitution that this gonna make you look good?
Because it doesn't.
It don't make you look good, baby. And then at the end of the day, you just signed yourself up to be single for the rest of your life. This is gonna linger over you for a very long time until you find a man that honestly is crazy enough to take that risk to be with you.
Because dude's gonna be like, nah, bro, like that's that girl that, out at Kai, Kai over there, like,
yeah,
you a liability, low key. You a liability. Like, I don't know what you gonna do to me. If
right.
you the Kai, like, what you gonna do to me?
Right. And then I'm not saying that, Kai was right, but I don't think he was wrong either.
Well,
I mean, the only thing he did was just pay for her Uber. Like, I guess he probably just slept with her. You know how, like, you got the girls over and stuff. She the one that, want to get laid that night, I guess. I don't know. I'm just.
Or they had a connection. They could have had a connection.
They could have
had a connection, and Kai could have been like, I want to see you again, or whatever, because I don't see him being like that. based on what I don't know him personally, but I don't see him being like that. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
I don't think he would definitely pay nobody $5,000. Like,
Right.
he doesn't need.
Or pay for it, period. I honestly, this is just my point of view and what I think. I think that he had a connection with the girl because she is pretty. And, he wanted to see her. He did offer to buy her Uber there and back, which is okay. There's something. If I want to see you as a man, I'm going to provide that for you if you don't have a car or transportation, right? So right. I don't see anything wrong with that. But what I do see wrong was the whole NDA situation. What was that about? What is it that you
think why do you think that was wrong? I feel like that was low-key smart for her to sign an NDA.
Well, it was, but at the end of the day, what is it that you were trying to hide for her to sign an NDA?
What if he's been trying to hide anything? What if he just knows, like, sometimes he's gotten with girls that are low-key clout chasers at the end? Like, he probably has to make sure before he, like, really... Kai is, like, every time he streams something, it's viral. Like, he could stream right now and be like, hey, I'm Kai, and, like, it's on TikTok on your TL, like, 10 times in a row. Like, yeah. Kai it's just no telling, like, what he's already been through that he makes him sign an NDA, but he probably don't trust nobody, and this is, like, the reason.
That makes sense. I can take that. What's your thoughts, King? Because I see you over there pacing.
Right.
I don't think he was wrong at all, even if he did pay $5,000. If that's what he wanted to use his money for, that's what he wanted to use his money for. And if she was cool with the transaction for it to be that, to pull up or get flown out or Ubered out, whatever you want to call it, Uber and please, then it is what it is. You feel me? I'm just saying Uber and please, you know what I'm talking about? So the NDA, there's levels of things, right? When you are, let's just say, a social media superstar like he is, you have to protect yourself differently than someone who's not in the spotlight, because people will do anything to try to dim your light. So in order to protect yourself, you sign the NDAs. Now, that's a choice. I ain't forcing you to sign anything. But if you want to continue this route for me to protect myself, it's almost like a prenup. It's like almost anything. People need to protect their assets if they have some. Most people ain't got assets to protect, so they don't be tripping over no NDA, right? So the NDA probably was just to say, hey, if we do this, this is just between me and you. Don't be going out this and that, trying to get clout off of the situation, because we know people do that, right? Secondly, for you to take your phone out, take pictures of my room, probably catch me while I'm sleeping, doing all this other things, that says more about you than it does about me. Because one, I'm not on social media talking about you like that. You're trying to get clout off of me by trying to say something about me, saying that you slept with me. Secondly, that's bad for your own business, because that probably wasn't the first time you was flown out. That's probably not the first time you was in that situation, right? Could be, don't know, allegedly, won't say. But you knew what you said yes to when you came. You already knew what it was. So you admitted to saying that I was willing to do it for the bag. So if you were willing to do it for the bag, why are you trying to throw it on social media like that? What is your end game? What is your end goal? Is it just for more attention? Because actually you got the attention you wanted and the attention that you didn't want. Because in the future, no one's going to want to do that with you. You feel me? That situation. You know what I mean? It's almost kind of like, do y'all remember when D'Angelo Russell was on the Lakers and he snitched on Nick Young in the locker room by talking about? Okay, so there's a situation with D'Angelo Russell, the point guard on the Lakers. He was young, you know what I mean? Made a mistake, snitched on Nick Young. Him and Iggy wound up breaking up or whatever else. And it was hard for people to trust him again because of what he did, because nobody wanted someone talking about their business. And he had to mature, earn his right back to become trustworthy. Well, my thing is, shorty, who finna trust you now? Who finna trust you now? You finna be known for all the wrong reasons. And you might be cool with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that if that's what you're cool with. But I'm just saying that's bad for whatever, if that was your business. I don't know if that was your business or if it ain't. But if it is your business, you just really damaged your business, because no one's going to put themselves in that situation, especially if you snitched on yourself, one. Two, you violated the NDA, which means you don't give a damn. You know what I mean? So if that's the case, then in his situation, I would never make that offer to you. But thank you for revealing who you are, so everyone else would be like, I'll pass. As beautiful as you are, I'll pass, because you could be pretty on the outside, but if you ain't got it on the inside too, then what does it really mean? You feel me? So
Right. You better be quiet like Superhead.
right. And then the last thing I'll say, Kai,
Right.
even securities, when we do premieres, we take the phone and we put the phone in the bag and we unlock the phone up so people can't record what's on the screen. So next time, if you decide to put yourself in this situation, you need to get one of those bags that you can lock the phone up, seal it, so that way you don't have to worry about someone recording or taking pictures or putting you in a vulnerable situation to defend yourself. And then when it's time for them to go, you unlock the phone, they have their phone back, they go about their business, and then it's kept quiet. There's different ways to do things, but I think it's a great learning experience for you, family. Shout out to you. Keep winning, keep being successful, and just learn from your mistakes, because we all make them. We all got room to grow. We all can do things better. So it's just a $5,000 lesson.
Yeah.
Pay 5,000. But let me ask you a question before we go on to the next one. So wasn't that extortion what she did too by taking a picture?
Of course.
Okay.
Definitely.
Extortion, blackmail, all the above.
How many laws she broke?
I don't know.
Definitely you.
Especially
when you just breaking the NDA, like what?
You stitch on yourself.
Social media and had social media harassment. Like she brought so many laws.
Facts.
Good luck to you too, little mama. I wish you nothing but the best. I hope you figure out what it is and how you're moving in life.
Ain't no good luck. She know what she doing. Moving on.
Yeah, moving on. Morgan Price. She actually just won the collegiate title for the college gymnastics. She is an HBCU student athlete. And this is the first time ever an HBCU student athlete won the collegiate title. She actually was supposed to go to Arkansas.
Hey.
But when she saw that Fisk University had a gymnastics team, which is a HBCU, she was like, oh, shoot, I want to go to Fisk. And right. I mean, she's doing her thing, and congratulations to her. Like, that's a major move to be a Black woman and still being able to break those barriers.
Yeah, I think it's dope. What if all of our most talented people went to HBCUs? What if we took our talent?
Will probably be in good shape, better shape.
So this is proof that you can go to an HBCU and still make it.
Yep.
Dion proved it with Jackson State. Now, I'm not going to act like HBCUs, we don't need to get our things together. We don't need to get things in order. We don't need to make sure that money right when money is coming in and opportunities is coming in. We do need to move some people out the way so the right people can be at the HBCUs, making sure finances is correct, students are getting what they need to get, and things are actually being handled in the correct manner. But what would that do for the culture if we took our talents to a HBCU? How much more of our history will we actually know if we went to a place that actually taught us our history and they didn't teach us the system to be incarcerated in our minds based off of the teachings that I want us to know? How much further would we be? How much would we grow as a culture? What would happen? What would be the wave of change? Because we already know that we're the wave. Everybody copies us, mimics us, from the way we look to our talents, from everything, period. It just is what it is. I ain't trying to be funny. I'm just calling it like it is, right? They steal inventions from us. We ain't even got to get into the mores. We ain't even got to get into all that other different type of talk. I'm just saying, what if we actually really knew who we were? What if we actually had teachers who was really teaching us who we were? What if we really wasn't the lost kids, children, or people of Israel? What if we were actually found? What if we were actually enlightened? What if we actually came together? What if we actually united? What type of wave of change would it happen? What if we actually protected our people a lot more, a lot better? We wouldn't have situations where our women are being taken, where our women are being abused. What if we were just really a community? What if we really just loved one another? And it all started from the foundation of us going to HBCUs and learning more about who we are. What would happen? I'm interested to find out.
Yeah, I love the fact that, she chose Fisk. Back to when I grew up in the hood, we used to have ghetto gymnastics. That was the first time I've ever seen someone flipping. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? We used to flip on mattresses, man.
Backflip on the mattress, backflips off the monkey bars.
Right. Back springs, all type of stuff. And it's crazy because sometimes you are a product of your environment. Because like I said, the first time I ever seen like flipping and all this stuff like that, it was in the projects, in an open field. We had a mattress that, you know, somebody threw away because the little person peed on it. And I mean, you know, just keeping it 100.
Oh, we'll go to the hill. You know where the hills are? And we'll go on the slope and do the backflip off the slope to kind of
absolutely. Right. Or the little crate.
Flip out each other's hands. You remember that? When we flip?
Or get the crates and put the crates on top of each other and then do the flips or whatever. But, you know, to see where we have come from that to Olympics to HBCUs, like this is a phenomenal transition. And I am super excited to see where her, you know, where she's going to be led to. Because I think she's going to be the next Simone Biles, if you ask me.
Shout out to Simone with all your greatness for all the Olympic awards that you've won over your career, still winning, just greatness all over you. Thank you for being an inspiration for this young lady, you know what I mean? Or any other future gymnastics to grow up to say that I want to be like Simone. So thank you for your greatness.
Yes. So, you know, at the end of the day, I agree everything 100% what both of you guys said. And I'm just excited to see where this is going to be headed to. And hope more HBCUs will have this program so we can dominate that industry as well.
Right. Because Olympics are coming up. So Morgan Price, we might see you on the ballot. We are going to see you on the ballot. Shoot.
Yes.
That part, talk about it.
So
Clean house. Get it right. Get it right. NIL deals, there's colleges totally different now with the NIL. Players are wide open on the market. Make sure the business is right at the HBCUs and things are being done. Dion talked about it already. So if we want greatness, we have to walk in that greatness and do the right thing. Because this new wave with the NIL is going to change college sports forever. Just make sure.
Yeah. For sure. We're going to take a quick little commercial break and give a shout out to our proud sponsors, 24/7 Live Culture. And we are back from commercial break. So the next topic is 3 key ways of forgiving your family members. I know, sometimes families can fight, but it's all love at the end of the day. So the 3 keys are identifying the source, internal reflection, communication, and empathy. I think identifying the source is really key to figuring out like what's going on between you and your family. Just in general, like why do we feel like we have to argue? Like, why can't we get along? And the source may trickle down to when you guys were kids. You just never know. But really just doing that reflection to see if you're in the wrong. Because sometimes we feel like we can be so right, but we could honestly be in the wrong. So just, looking at ourselves and, reevaluating what you could have did to tick off your family member, even if you don't think it was wrong. You never know, like, your views compared to somebody else's views. And just communication, be the bigger person, communicate and tell a person how you feel. You don't have to be nasty about it, but be honest and have some compassion, because you just never know like how you can talk to somebody and your words may hurt the way you say it. So I feel like those could be key things of that.
You got the eyebrow.
My eyebrow went up for real?
Yeah, it did.
And different things, those are just like things like from my point of view. And also from our writer at 24/7 Live Culture, Jordan King, he gave those 3 things of forgiving family members, but I just added my little twist on it.
So Look at Sarina's face.
Cause I don't know where to start. But
Well, how would you forgive a family member?
I don't know how to.
Like, you don't think, okay.
Hey, I want to say this. That was dope for you to say. Because a lot of people will fake it or make up something. I'm so happy that you told the truth, because there's a lot of people that feel the same way that you just said, that they don't know how. I'm so glad you said that.
Right. Like, y'all know me. I'm going to keep it 100. I don't know how. I cannot forgive my mama for nothing. You know? And she know that. Everybody that know me personally and know my family know I can't stand that lady. And it all have to go back to my childhood. You understand? I felt like I was a black sheep of the family. My mom had 7 kids. I was the middle child. I feel like she took a lot of stuff out on me because of my dad, that I didn't meet until I was almost about to graduate high school. And, you know, I feel like I used to get like the worst whoopings. I remember one time I was so bad because it was more like my environment. I grew up in the hood. See, this is why I want to go last. But I grew up in a hood, so I became a product of my environment, right? So my brother taught me how to fight. And, you know, when I went to school, I was this little short person, the scrawniest in the room, but I will never let nobody try me. I will always take up for other people, you know, even if things didn't involve me. You know, it can be somebody that's 5'3" in elementary school, and if I see them getting bullied, my little short behind just walking up and like, no, you ain't gonna do whatever, right? So I remember I used to always get in fights, and one particular time I had got suspended from school. This was in middle school, and so my mom, she was like, this is my biological mom, by the way. She was like, oh, well, you're on punishment. Okay, punishment is cool, but you know what her punishment was? I had to stay in my room. I couldn't eat anything. When I got thirsty, she made me drink water out the faucet in the bathroom. Then Christmas was coming around. Her and my sisters and some of my family members, they were going to Mississippi. No, I'm sorry. It was Thanksgiving. They went to Mississippi. And back then, we didn't have cell phones. So she cut the TV cord. I didn't have a TV cord. It was no food in the house. So they were gone for about a week. You know, I couldn't go outside ever, so I didn't really know my neighbors like that. You know, she was very abusive in so many ways. And I remember one time, you know, around the time when I had got that referral, they ordered pizza. And this is going to be a part of my story on my movie too. They ordered pizza, and I remember smelling the pizza. I came out, you know, thinking I'm going to get a piece or whatever because I'm hungry, right? So she was like, didn't I tell you, you're not going to wrap your mouth around my food in here? And I was like, nigga, what? So I just went back in my room. Waited till she went to sleep. My oldest sister was watching TV. So I walked out thinking that she was going to let me, you know, get some pizza or whatever. She was like, what you doing? I was like, I'm finna go eat some pizza. She was like, mama told me not to let you eat nothing. So I went back in my room and I started crying, right? Because I was like, I had hunger pains. So I went to the bathroom, just tried to drink as much water out the faucet as I could, so I can kind of, you know, at least feel full. So when my sister went to sleep, I snuck in the kitchen and I was trying to be so quiet. And we didn't have food in the house. That's why they ordered pizza that night. It was no pizza left over, but it was pizza scraps in a trash can. So you know what I did? I ate food out the trash can. Pizza crust. It had stuff all on it and everything. I'm wiping it off, you know. And this is just a short story, but it's multiple things that happened to me as a kid, right? So as I got an adult, and then in high school, I ended up being adopted, right? She gave me up for adoption or whatever, which I'm glad she did, because my godmother, rest her soul, she molded me into who I am today. My mom couldn't handle the anointing that God had on my life. So somebody else had to flourish that. And I'm glad that happened. So fast forward to when I got an adult, everybody's like, oh, you need to forgive your mama, yada, yada, yada. And I hate when people say that. I would never tell somebody to forgive somebody, because you never know what that person put that person through. You understand? And I'm not in a position to ask somebody to forgive nobody anyway, because I don't even know how to forgive nobody. When you get me to a point to where I feel like I hate you, people say forgive. You ain't giving nobody instructions on how to forgive. You can tell somebody that all day, every day. But how do I go through those steps to get to forgiveness, right? So as I got an adult or whatever, I did talk to my mom and I said, you know, let's go to counseling. She didn't want to go to counseling. Okay, boom. I tried. Then got married. My ex-husband tried to get us to bond. She didn't want to, you know, do none of that. Then before I came to California, I just wanted to make things right before I left Florida. I drove all the way from Tampa to Jacksonville, Florida, a week before me and my daughter moved to California. And I knocked on my mama's door. She didn't answer because I didn't know if she saw me, but I told my daughter to knock on the door next. So she opened the door for my daughter. We went inside or whatever. And I said, you know, well, she was talking to my daughter at first, you know, whatever. And then when I started talking to her, I was like, I just want to let you know we're about to move to California. And I just wanted to make it right before I go to a different time zone. I told her I forgave her. I said that with my mouth, but not with my heart. You know, I didn't feel that here, but I said it out my mouth, right? So, you know, this lady told me, I forgive you too. I lost it. What do you forgive me for? I was a kid. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I hear your points, Gentel, but I can't do nothing with that.
And that's, you know, I respect that everybody, you know, has different, you know, family situations. So you know, you got to do what's best for you in that situation, especially when you know someone is wrong and you've tried to have those conversations and then they still hit you with like, not trying to be mean, but like the disrespect. Like, I think that's still disrespectful. Like, because as a child, you should not ever do that. And I'm sorry that you had to go through that because that's not okay. So you tried. I feel like you did the best that you could, but until she is willing to do that too, I mean, that's on her. But as her child, you did what you did what you should have did. You even said your piece before you left to California. You're doing well out here, like you're killing the game. But at least you were, you know, grown enough to do that, to like go with your daughter and talk to your mom, be a woman to woman. Like, I respect that. So
I appreciate that.
Well, let me love on you too, sis, because you already know. You already know the vibe, right? First of all, I want to tell you and anyone else who's listening that might have been through what you've been through, because we all have our stories, that you're unbreakable. Because regardless to everything that you've been through, you're still here. And to have the understanding of forgiveness. Sometimes people think when we forgive, it's about the other person being okay with it. But the forgiveness is for yourself and what you experienced. Regardless to whether the person is okay with what you're saying or not, that's not on you. Because you can't control your mom. You can't control the other person that we might be dealing with in the situation. But the forgiveness was about your own boundary. And I'm speaking for that because when I was assaulted by the police, people didn't understand my forgiveness. People sometimes translate forgiveness as a weakness, but it's actually a strength, because the forgiveness wasn't for what he did to me. It was for myself and the experience that I went through. So even when it comes to the forgiveness between you and your mom, the forgiveness isn't for her. The forgiveness is for you, sis. The forgiveness is for everything you've been through in your childhood. The forgiveness is so you can fall back in love with you and know that it was okay, and whatever that you've been through didn't break you. It helped shape you, it helped mold you, and no storm lasts forever. So it's amazing to see what you've been through to where you are right now. Because when you're on the red carpet, when you're in your films, when you're walking in your purpose, nobody knows what you've been through. Thank God you don't look like what you've been through. And see, because you had enough love for yourself, you're now in your rainbow. And regardless to what your mother did or what someone else did to whoever's listening, it doesn't stop you from being in your rainbow. But in order to have a rainbow in your life, you got to go through a storm. And when you're going through your storm, you got to learn how to get back in touch with you. You got to learn how to love your 5-year-old, 10, 15, 20, whatever you've been through. Because a lot of times when we're going through something in life, we compartmentalize it. We put it in a file drawer. In our mind, we create these walls to block us, to protect us, so we never have to feel that pain again. But the root of the pain is always still there, lingering, right? Because we never actually took care of it. So you said you want some instructions on forgiveness. Got you. Starting with yourself. Just starting with yourself and saying, that situation sucked. That situation was horrible. But God, I'm still here. And it didn't break me. All the times I cried, all the times I was frustrated, all the times I thought I was misunderstood, it's okay because you're still here and you got to take another breath. The fact that you get to take another breath is another opportunity for you just to love you. And it's also an opportunity for you to create your own boundaries of how to love yourself and what you'll say yes and no to. The fact that you were a big enough person to even try to give your mother the opportunity, that shows the greatness in you. That shows your light in you. That shows how powerful you are. Because how can you go through all of that and still say, hey, just want you to know, I forgive you. That takes strength. That takes courage. That takes self-love, self-discipline. So all I'm saying to you, sis, is even though the forgiveness might not come from her side, the fact that you are already able to say those words already, right? It's one thing to say something. It's another thing to forgive yourself so you can mean it. Even if she don't mean it. Because your forgiveness ain't even about her, it's about you. And when you do that, it'll be a representation of when your shorties is watching you. Now they can understand the process, not based off of your words, but based off of your actions. Because when we don't do it, that's how generational curses get passed down. That's how we don't know how to solve problems. That's how we have Black trauma. And the biggest thing, man, even when it comes to my family, is honesty. We don't know how to forgive because we don't know how to be honest with each other. We don't know how to forgive because guess what? We lead with emotions and we have no emotional intelligence. It's just all emotions yelling back and forth, and we never get to the root of what we actually talked about in the beginning because everybody's just in their feelings. But when you're able to, one, take the emotion out of it, and two, just be honest, regardless to whether the person likes it or not, but you can be your intention versus your execution. As long as you're within the right of your execution and you're doing the respect to the best of your abilities, it don't matter how somebody else reacts. Because someone else's emotions isn't your burden. Because you have no control over it anyway. But as long as you can stand in your truth about how you feel in that moment, you can be okay. You can be okay. And I'm going to end it like this, because I've told this story on here before or whatever else. But, you know, I'll tell a different. I'll talk about my dad. I've never met my dad. I remember meeting him for the first time. And I was like, ain't no damn way, this is my father. We wasn't around. I walked to my grandmother's house. My grandmother has never seen me. She has never claimed me. I knock on her door and she answers the door and I say, hello, you know, how are you? I'm Shirley's son. Who? I said, I'm Tasha's brother, Trust's brother. She says, I don't know you. Get away from my house. Why are you here? Man, I cried all the way home. Because my grandmother didn't know me. She didn't claim me. She was like, Willie don't have a son. She don't know who I am. My father's no longer here. My father passed away. And every time when I did talk to my father through text or for a couple of seconds, I'd be like, yo, tell me about you. He never would. My father died. And what I realized is maybe it wasn't for me to know my dad. Maybe my dad's purpose was just to give me an opportunity at life. And I'm grateful for the opportunity. Maybe you and your mom might not always have the best relationship or have the relationship, but that's okay because she gave you an opportunity at life. And now you have a shorty, you feel me? So you get to continue to be in the better version of yourself, regardless to whether she on the other side is cooperative in the forgiveness, because you have no control over that, but you do have control over how you feel, of the bags that you carry from what you've been through. Where are we taking them? Where are we taking all that hurt? Where are we taking all that pain? Where are we taking all that anger? So when you can forgive you can let that go. And then you can continue walking in your rainbow because you've come too far, you've done too much, and you are still amazing. You are worthy of love and you are loved. But that love starts with you. So just keep loving yourself and know that it's okay because you did your part.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. And that's to anybody else that's listening, because you're not I swear to God, I know for a fact because I went through it. I talked about everyone has a story.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know proof. When you go to funerals, people get up there and tell a lot of lies at the funeral. Because if you said it, why didn't you say it when they were alive? Why didn't you get the opportunity to do it if that's what you were going to do? Every single day we wake up, we have an opportunity to forgive somebody, to love somebody, to tell somebody, I'm sorry. The question is, do you actually really freaking do it? Or do you wait till it's too late and say, I should have, could have, would have, but didn't? So every day you get a chance to do your part, do your part. Every day you get a chance to take your breath, make sure it's the best breath you take, because it could be your last. And I'll end it like this. Anytime I do a speech, I say, if you died today, would you get an A+ on life's report card? And only you know the answer to that question. But if not, and you're blessed to see tomorrow, you better live like it's extra credit, because tomorrow's not promised. We're all 6 degrees of separation from loving each other. The question is, will we? And every day that you wake up is an opportunity to change your future. But it's a closer day to your grave. So what are you waiting for? You should be great with every breath you take, because it could be your last.
Yes, so we have to just make sure we do our part. And we do have some sad news. O.J. Simpson did pass away at the age of 76 from cancer. I mean, the news literally, it hit at like 9 a.m. in the morning. I was literally doing a workout and I was like, oh my gosh, like I feel like I wasn't expecting it. I didn't realize he had cancer. I know he did say he had cancer a couple years ago, or maybe 2, or last year he did. Mm-hmm. And now the family of Nicole and Rod Goodman, they are still trying to get their money that OJ owed them after their deaths. I think it's like around 100 million. So going through all that, and then some scientists reached out to OJ's family to see if they can take some tests of his brain and do some research. So they denied it and said no. And then also some media outlets said that OJ's, before he passed away, he told his families to sign like NDA agreements. So that's all the news that's out. I know you guys have some aspects to add to it. What do you guys think when you heard of his passing?
Go ahead.
Well, first and foremost, sorry for the loss. It's sad. I mean, that's definitely a part of life. I think sometimes we don't remember people for all of the greatness that they've accomplished in their life. For OJ to be in the NFL, for him to be one of the top running backs ever, is never really like talked about anymore. It's just pretty much the drama behind, the death, what the Kardashian family is saying about his death. I think that people should be able to rest in power and love. But at the same time, I believe everyone's allowed to have their own opinion. But sometimes it's okay just to keep your opinion to yourself or in your circle. Everything doesn't belong on social media. So I'm wondering, what was the motive to want to express negativity during someone's death? I find it like sad. And it kind of reminds me of when George Floyd passed away, how they wind up turning his death into a challenge, which is just disrespectful. Just let people rest in power and love, and however you feel about that, prayerfully you take the time to heal from whatever it is that you need to heal from with your experience with that person in life, instead of just talking about them while they're in their afterlife, and you just continue moving forward in your own life, So it's just sad that how people might choose to remember him in a negative light is just kind of overshadowing all the amazing things that he did accomplish.
Right. I totally understand. We're in a generation or age where we don't take anything serious. I think even Marlon Wayans was like, him and his brothers, they can't even sit together at a funeral because they always joking on people at a funeral. I'm like, dude, are you serious? But, when it comes to things like the George Floyd, of course, that wasn't funny at all. Now, when it comes to this O.J. Simpson situation, when he was alive, the country was split. You had people that believe he did it, killed his ex-wife, and you have people that didn't believe that he did it. So it's just crazy how all of that is coming back out. This dude has been alive and out of prison for I don't know how long. And now you're automatically want to pull up that situation. Like you said, you didn't really pull up anything about his NFL stats, what he's done in the community, and things of that nature. Now, what I can say is, if OJ did it, that man took it all the way to the grave. Okay? I can say that part. Because at the end of the day, we don't know. Johnny Cochran was one of the best lawyers out there.
The glove. If it don't fit, you must have quit.
If it don't fit it, you must have quit. I mean, Johnny Cochran, he did that. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I can't really say what I want to say, but rest in peace, OJ. I don't know if you did it or not. Only when you get to them pearly gates, or when you see your ex-wife or whatever. But yeah, rest in power. And my condolences to his family as well.
I just want to add this one last little thing. Life is short. Life is short. So take advantage of the opportunities that we have. If there's somebody that you might want to forgive, if there's something that you need to tell someone that you love them, take advantage of it, because you never know when it's going to be your day. Don't wait till someone's funeral to try to give them their roses, because just for me, I find it kind of weird where everyone kind of does the shoulda, coulda, woulda dance. But if that person didn't die that day, would you have actually called them the next day? Or it should have been me, God. So if God actually wanted to let you switch places, would you? So instead of waiting for someone's last day, say, I love you now. Say, hey, you know what? I'm sorry now. Hey, can you forgive me now? Take advantage of the now in the present until, before it's too late. Just wanted to add that.
Yeah. And just going back on that, King, and also what you said about Caitlyn Jenner, how she tweeted her thing like good riddance or something to OJ. I'm not quite sure the exact words, but I mean, just some things when it comes to death, you just shouldn't say, especially because, she was involved, or he, whatever, she was involved in a wreck that killed a person. So it's just kind of like, guys are low key in the, I'm not going to say what I want to say, but, they had ties with the Jenner Kardashian family. I'm not sure if Chris has really spoken on that or whatnot, but I'm sure maybe we'll hear something, maybe we won't. I know Nicole was her best friend, and Robert Kardashian represented OJ as well in the trial. So
yeah, but that's a good point, because it's crazy how you forget about your own sins, yet you're so quick to throw a rock at someone else's glass house with their own sins, you know what I mean? And I just feel like sometimes it's okay to feel what you feel because those are your feelings, and you should honor it, right? If that's how you felt, but why does your feelings need to be on public display for everyone else in this type of situation? So my thing is, what was your motive behind saying that? Were you just trying to throw gaslight on a fire? But everybody has their own reasons why they do what they do. But just the same way you're throwing gas on someone else, remember, someone can throw gasoline on you just as well. So
let me ask you a question. When Caitlyn said good riddance, was that Bruce saying good riddance, or was that Caitlyn? Because Caitlyn didn't know. Oh, Bruce did.
I'm dead.
I'm just asking the question.
A little bit of stir of the tea, a little stir of the tea.
I'm just asking the question.
Well, it came from Caitlyn's account, so I mean, I don't know.
We'll talk about that a whole nother day.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about it later.
So the next topic, it's about online dating. There was an online dating murder that happened in Milwaukee. And before we get into this, I know a lot of people are like, That's why you shouldn't online date. And I do feel like online dating has pros and cons, just like if you meet somebody in public, it could be pros and cons. It can happen to any of us. You just have to be careful. You have to look at the clues. You have to look at the person that you're online dating has mutuals. There's things you should look out for. There's red flags and stuff that, you can figure out who is like for real, and who is like just playing on the online dating. So I just wanted to give that my perspective on that before I get into the story. But and maybe those signs were there. I'm not quite sure, but Sharrie Robinson was murdered by a guy she went on a date with. He was 33 years old. Sharrie is African American. The guy that's 33 is Caucasian. And they went out on a date. He took her back home. He had a sex dungeon. And when her family and friends realized she was missing, a search went out. They were searching different parts of Milwaukee. They were looking for her, but they actually started finding body pieces spread out through the whole Milwaukee County of where she lived at, her leg, other body parts. And then they also found her car set on fire.
First of all, let's just take a moment. May she rest in power, love, and prayers go to the family. It's sad. And I'm not going to just blame it on online dating. You have to be careful regardless when you're involving yourself with someone, because you have people that aren't doing online dating that this situation has happened to. So anyone who's ever lost a loved one to this situation is very sensitive. We want to make sure that we're being respectful and, just giving condolences. But to talk about the situation, ladies, fellas too, please be very, very careful. If you're going to put yourself in these type of situations, please let other people know where you're going. Please give out your address. I think they have different apps now where you can track where you are, where you're going, so your friends can know where you're located. Please have your emergency number set up where you could just press a button where it can just make a call for your own safety. Please do whatever it takes to make sure you stay safe in situations. Now, people can call you paranoid or overdoing it, but I would rather you be alive and deal with someone calling you a name than for you to actually lose your life, whether it be male or female. It's sad how the human condition can be. It's sad how psychotic people can be. It's sad that someone will really want to go on an online date, answer questions just to wind up trying to take your life, And I know we look at the death, but I'm wondering what is the root of the situation to put a person in that type of mindset to even want to go out to do something like this. You know what I mean? Because usually there's some type of trigger. Sometimes people just do it for no reason at all. But if there was a trigger, what was that? And how can we make sure that we're protecting our daughters or our children or just people in the future? So I feel like if there's different apps or different things that we can create for protection to keep people safe, I would be interested in creating more solutions, because this is sad that it's 2024 and these situations are still happening. Sarina, what are your thoughts?
So my thought is, this is not his first time doing that.
Right.
That don't make sense to me. You dismembered a person and spread their body parts around the city. That's sick, it's psychotic, and it tells me that it's more victims out there. So I feel like the police need to vet him a little bit more. Mm-hmm. They need to pull up a lot of missing reports of people in that area. Also, they need to track down his social media, as well as do a scrub on the dating site that he's been on to see who else he hooked up with and if they're missing.
Right.
And if so, charge him for that. I don't think that the judge should have gave him bail. I think the bail was at $50 million. Why in the hell would somebody like that have a bail? That don't even make sense to me. And I just wanted to say, hold on for a second. I wanted to say, was it because it was a Black female that you have bail for $50,000?
Go. Okay, we on the same page. Go.
Yeah, because you chopped her up and you pretty much lynched this young lady. You understand? And you got to think about it. in that particular state, it's still racism out there. You know what I mean? So no, he didn't physically hang her, but he did lynch her. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. And at the end of the day, I feel like somebody need to question that judge, because there's no way that dude should have had bail. He should have had freaking the death penalty. So that's my thought.
I'm so with you on that. We were so on the same frequency, and I apologize because I really wasn't trying to cut you off. It was just that I was just vibing with you, because my question was, if it was a black man who did that to a white woman, would he have gotten there? Would the sentences been different?
Of course.
It seems like we play by two different rule books. I don't understand it. Like, one, even just being the victim, like even the mindset of what the little girl had to go through in that situation, bro. The mindset to just, cut somebody up and spread their body parts like it's an Easter egg hunt or something, bro. That you didn't do that by accident.
And he's on camera. He's on camera on the buses at the scenes where he did, like they have him on camera, not like him actually doing it, but if they're looking for proof, like they have him on camera on the bus and stuff like that. So it's just kind of like,
I didn't see that.
Yeah, they need to be scrubbing phone records. They need to be scrubbing text messages. They need to go through his internet history, social media. They need to be they should track down any and everything, because there's no way that someone can think of all of this on their first time.
Right.
You didn't panic. You weren't scared. You didn't have no remorse, no nothing. So you strategized to cut someone up as if it was a Saw movie, or you're on Fear Factor or Final Destination, then carry you murdered someone. Period. Let's get that. 2, you decided to take each single part to a different location. Next, you decided to burn a car up. This is premeditated. You thought about what you were doing before you did it.
Probably, like Sarina said, he's probably done it multiple times because he did this so careless. Like, he left so much evidence out there for people to catch.
Hey, yo, some 50 Shades of Death. You feel me? Like, he's wilding. And for you to be able to make bail,
that part.
We get weed charges and can't get bail.
That part.
It's crazy.
Now, let me ask you this question. Do you think that, you know how like when George Floyd passed away and the cops raised money for their bail and they end up getting out, right? What if he raised $50 million to get out? Do you think it'll be an uproar at that point? Because right now we're not mad enough. We're not mad enough.
I agree.
This Joker should have the death penalty, period. And there is no reason why our Black leaders are not hopping on this story. Okay. At all. It is not fair to the family that they walked out. I wish the judge, listen, walking out the courtroom after the judge say 50 million in bail, or just bail, period. You think I'm not gonna act a fool?
Yeah, I'm not gonna hold you, because I don't have a kid myself, but if I did have a kid and that happened to me, like I couldn't imagine. Like, you could see in video, like the mom is just so like, it's like you could see that she has cried so much that she probably, if she cries anymore, she's gonna lose it. And like, I feel like I would be in that state too, because not only was my child murdered, but like to hear how she was murdered, to know her body parts, like they don't even have a body to put at the funeral.
Like, it's mad.
Her one last time.
Like, I really want to keep my emotions in check because it's mad triggering for me. But, like I said, I'm still here and this young lady is not. And it's so painful. Hey, a price is being paid, y'all. Black community, a price is being paid. And either we stand up and pay the price for standing up, or this will continue to happen to us. Period. And there's no way we shouldn't be lifting our voices and speaking out for this. There's no, Forget just Black people, human beings. Just human beings. Every single color in the crayon box should have an issue with something happening like this. Death shouldn't have to knock at your door for you to care. I'm gonna say that one more time. Death should not have to knock on your door for you to be a human being and just care, man. Because when death does knock at your door, you're gonna want other people to care, to help out, to want to reach out, to actually just give a damn. Color has something to do with it, but just it's bigger than color. Just human beings. It's human beings. People who have a soul. People who claim that you're good people. How do we have something like this happen and we just rush over it and continue on and we don't care?
Right.
Just got to do better.
Yeah. Again, where's our Black leaders? There is no reason that they should be charging for this case. This should be a pro bono case. The family shouldn't even have to raise money to retain you because of what just happened. Like, this is a public lynching, and at the end of the day, I just want to tell females, you got to be smart. There's no reason why you should go over a guy's house for the first date. There's no reason to put yourself in a compromising situation. You understand? Just be smart about everything. If you get a drink that night or whatever, make sure you're very aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If they say, I'm going to grab your drink, no, I can get my own drink. That's fine.
Yeah.
If you feel like you have to pay for your own meal, pay for your own meal. It's okay. Because I'd rather for you to do that instead of end up like this. And I see it a lot on the news, how women go on these blind dates or the first date and something happened. So we just have to really be smart about that. People crazy out here.
Listen, fellas, this applies to y'all too. Men get kidnapped, men get raped, no daddy. Things happen, period, right? So we all have to be careful. But right now, the subject of this young lady, and so even when, I do security as well as one of my other hustles, even when women are leaving the club or males, if they're intoxicated, we make sure that we give them bottles of water. We try to do everything at our best capability or power to make sure people leave sober or in the best conditions so they can't be taken advantage of. It's real. And I know people have the attitude, well, not me. It's the same way when someone gets behind the wheel drinking and driving and thinking they're going to make it home safe because they've done it before. Just because you do it before and you got away with it doesn't mean you shouldn't be safe the next time. So ladies, please make sure you're checking your drinks. Please make sure you're paying attention to your surroundings. Please get water before you leave the club. Please vet on the site. Please let your family and friends let them know where you're going, what you're doing, what time you expect to be back, whatever. Just keep people informed so that way we can keep y'all safe. And fellas, the same goes for you too.
Yes, and just sending our condolences out to Sharrie Robinson. May she rest in peace.
Yeah, or anybody who's lost a loved one to a situation like this, period. But as human beings, we all need to do better.
Well, this was another episode of Culture Minute. I'm Gentel Sharrie.
I'm Sarina Renee.
It's your boy, King Jaquel Martin, actor, director, motivational speaker.
Bang, bang, bang.
And we're out.